So I'm going to introduce the story, so using FME and web services. Then I'm going to talk about ArcGIS platform and ArcGIS Online and how to combine this with FME. And I will end up with a ready-to-use app we've created to show how we can combine those things and add a map application on top. So I think you all know that in general FME desktop and FME server can consume, I would say, boundless number of different services. We have heard about that in the last 3 days, and I just mentioned here 2 of them, like the web feature service, like the web map service, just some classical service here as an example. And you already heard about this WXS approach mentioned by Donald Dale that makes the FME server acting as any arbitrary service you can imagine. In this presentation, as I said, I will focus on the ArcGIS Online Services and their usage within FME Desktop and within FME Server. So as you all know, the ArcGIS platform consists of different tools, of different applications, and on the ArcGIS Desktop and ArcGIS Server side, you probably all know that there are extensions based on FME that give ArcGIS the chance to make use of FME functionality. We have the FME extension and the data interoperability extension. And of course, there's another way to combine ArcGIS and FME. It's through Python. And with the new ArcGIS Online platform, with the new ArcGIS Online Services, and they can make, you can make use of them within FME. So I'm pretty sure that you all attend to the keynote of Esri on Tuesday morning. So I will keep things short here, not talking about ArcGIS Online in detail. Just to give you the idea, if you're interested in starting working with ArcGIS Online and combine this with FME, just go to developers.arcgis.com. This is the best entry point you can get to start working with ArcGIS Online. ArcGIS Online provides you with a lot of different services, different service types for mapping, for locations, for data management, for spatial analysis. And on the other hand, you can create and host your own services, so-called feature services, and we'll pick some of them and we'll demonstrate how to use them together with the FME in a few minutes. Just to give you 2 or 3 samples of what functionality is there in ArcGIS Online. For example, there's the geocoding and the place search service, or for example, the directions and routing services. In general, you can say that all these ArcGIS Online services are accessible through the ArcGIS REST API, and you can evoke these ArcGIS REST API through any language, through any programming tool that can make HTTP requests, and of course, FME can make HTTP requests, and so you can use these services within FME Workbench. Most services require an ArcGIS Online account because the ArcGIS Online Services run on a credit-based model. So the first thing you have to do is create an ArcGIS Online account. And if you go to developers.arcgis.com, you have the chance to create a developer account, and this is for free. And you have, I think, 50 credits a month to test all the things you're gonna go to develop. If you want to access one of these or all of these ArcGIS Online services, you have to authenticate first. You have to generate a token. Then you have to request your service, for example, the routing service, sending all the parameters, the token, and the way of your using the service. And then finally, you have to process the results. This is how it acts in general. So authenticate, authenticate, request the service, and then process the results. 3 steps in general. I think this is enough for ArcGIS Online in general. So the question is here now, how can ArcGIS Online Services be used in FME? And I think you have all heard about the FME Data Inspector capabilities to use background maps. I think this is introduced with FME 2013, I guess, Service Pack 2. And ArcGIS Online provides you with a number of base maps, and you can use them right in the Data Inspector. The second one is one new reader and one new writer. It's the ArcGIS Online Features Service Reader and Writer to read and to write ArcGIS Online features directly to your ArcGIS Online account or to a map. The writer is very new. It's introduced with FME 2014 Service Pack 1. And the purpose is just you can write any data you have, so source format doesn't matter, to ArcGIS Online Feature Services. And you can also do updating feature service, and you can delete features from the feature service. And I think with this slide, it's time for the first demo. I'm going to create a simple workflow that is going to geocode some addresses and write them into ArcGIS Online Feature Service, and to bring the features to an ArcGIS Online map. So I've exported some of my favorite contacts from my mobile phone. Catwoman, for example, or Captain Interop is there. And as you can see, this file is, it's an XML file. And we all know that FME can read XML. And so this is the starting point of my presentation here, of my live presentation. So I'm going to use the XML reader to get my contacts in. So here we are. This is not the right way. Just in here are the contacts. Then I'm using feature path to tell the reader not only to read the contracts. This is exactly what I have here. I should skip the S. So this is what I want to have, the contract. And then I'm going to, oh, sorry, it's still a mistake. Oh, yeah, not contract, but contact. That's better, right? Cool. Okay, then I'm going to enable the flattening, that I'm getting all these attributes directly as attributes on my feature type. And then I can just read it. Here we are. So feature type called contact and all these attributes down there. Then I'm going to use one of these ArcGIS Online Transfomers. I'm going to talk about these Transfomers a bit later on, but I will use some right now. I'm going to take the ArcGIS Online Geocoder to do geocoding, to use the ArcGIS Online Geocoding service. And I have to enter my credentials. And I say, okay, I want to use components, and then I'm going to map my attributes. Address is street, city is city, and postal code is postal code. And the country, I just type in here. All addresses are based or located in Germany, so I can just type it in here. So then it's time to add the ArcGIS Online writer. Just put on ArcGIS Online. ArcGIS.com as a default address, and then again using my credentials, and then I'm going to create and it's already an existing contacts. Sorry, a bit confused now. Contacts. That's T missing, sorry for that. And number one, because I already created this feature service and I want to push data in it. So then, okay. Yeah, we can do so, but I'm going to copy this one. And get rid of all these XML attributes just by deleting them. And I think because I did it in the demo before. I have to add the FID just to make sure that the schema fits. And then I'm using the bulk renamer to rename all my attributes, change case, uppercase, and then we should have a good mapping. Forget about the FID, it doesn't matter. And then we can just run it, and hopefully it works. I have a prepared map here, and you can see there's nothing inside. And as far, this is what I expected, which I forget to, okay. And maybe now it's crashed. Just give it one chance. Otherwise, I'm going to generate a new layer. That looks good. Back to my map, and hopefully, not sure we're all doing right. My contacts, it should. Here we are. Great. Okay, and here all my contacts are geolocated, and then I know where to travel to visit all my good friends. I think I prefer to visit maybe the XML man first. Okay, back to slides, and just going to talk about a bit about the custom transformers. You already saw the ArcGIS OnlineGeocoder for doing geocoding and place search. And there are also the ArcGIS Online Router for doing for calculating driving directions. And there's the ArcGIS Online ServiceAreaCalculator. There's another one, and there's a transformer number 4. It's the ArcGIS OnlineGeoenricher that uses the GeoEnrich ArcGIS.com service. But you know, on ArcGIS Online, there are a lot more ArcGIS Online services, and therefore I'm going to present how to create your own custom transformer to use whatever service exists there on ArcGIS Online. And as an example here, I'm going to create a custom transformer who's using the reverse geocoding. Just to give you the main steps of what we have to do is first, of course, processing the input for the custom transformer. Then we have to receive the user's ArcGIS Online credentials. We have to generate a token. We have to prepare our request. We have to send the request, and we have to process the results. So more or less 6 steps. And going over to another demo. Because the reverse geocoding is free. This is one of the ArcGIS Online services that you can use for free as far as you don't store the results. So in this case, it's very simple because all you have to do is getting some input, some coordinates in this case, and then you're using HTTP fetcher, going to the right URL, which is geocode.arcgis.com and so forth, and giving just the X and the Y value to calculate or to reverse geocoding, to do reverse geocoding. But if you want to store your results, you have, of course, first to authenticate yourself. Therefore, I've created this custom transformer, and we can just go in there and show how what it's doing. So as I said, the first step is always process input, which is in this case very easy because all we have to process is just XY coordinate. So we're using coordinate extractor to get this from the source data. Then we have to do the ArcGIS Online authentication, so the get token request. Therefore, we first using, for example, environment variable fetcher to fetch the computer name and store it as a referrer, because if you're using the ArcGIS Online REST API, you have something called a referrer. This is more or less, this is the one that is requesting the service. You can put any string in there, but you have to make sure that if you call the service, this referrer is still there. Then we are using again the HTTP fetcher. I show you the path here. So It's ArcGIS.com, sharing, generate token, and then you have to provide your username and password and the referrer. Then you have to evaluate your results, getting some JSON, using JSON extractor to get all the information we need. Then we make a decision if we are authenticated or not. If yes, we can again use HTTP fetcher to do the real request, to do the online reverse geocoding. Here again, we have to tell where we want to go. Then we give them the long and the lat coordinate. We can, as an option, give a distance. And again, we have to provide our token that we get from the authentication step. And then the final step, of course, is evaluating, processing the results. So we get JSON again, and we're using a JSON fragmenter here to process the given address to this location. And if we run the process, we should get a result, and it's in this case just an Excel file giving me the address of the given location. In this case, this is very close to Conterra, so to my company. I think it's just one building aside. And here we are. So what I didn't mention so far is that in this case, we are using a normal user login. So I'm, again, giving my credentials here. But there's another way to authenticate to the services. It's called the app login. So if you want to bundle this thing into your own application, you probably, or you normally should use your an app login account. And therefore, I've created another demonstration which is quite similar. But the difference here is that in this case, I'm using this app login where I have to provide my personal client ID and my personal client secret. And again, I'm getting a token and can run the complete process. So you have to decide whether you log in via your user credentials or via an app login. Yes, and then as a last demonstration, I'm going to show a ready-to-use app we've created as a combination of ArcGIS Online, FME, and our own product called MapApps. MapApps is a product for designing web map applications, and it looks similar to this. So we have MapApps as our framework here. I think there's an animation. First is FME. So we are using a dialog within MapApps to define, to set or to define the parameters, which will be handled over to the FME server. We are using ArcGIS Online, in this case, to calculate so-called service areas, and all is put together in this MapApps application. And I can just run a quick demo here. So here we are, and here's a little button telling me I'm using FME right now. I'm going to do a file upload. Can browse for a file. In this case, is a shapefile as a zip file. I can upload the data, changing some of these parameters, but I think in this case we can keep it as it is. Then we go to next, and then we can define the zones for calculating the service area as the service areas, and leave it as it is. And then we can just run it, and within a few seconds we should get a result. Here it is. So I've just uploaded some point information contained in this shapefile, and with this point information, the ArcGIS Online ServiceAreaCalculator transformer sending a request to the ArcGIS Online Service Area Online Services, and he provides me with this drive time polygons here. Oh, I think time is over. That's good, because I have only one remaining slide. And this is just another question about what is your next ArcGIS Online transformer. And thank you all for listening, for coming, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. We have time for questions, so if anyone has a question, just raise your hand. I'll come by with the mic.
When you uploaded your data, were you able to upload any metadata as well to accompany that data set?
Metadata, yeah, in general, yes, because we can upload any format you can guess, and I'm not sure in what format you have your metadata, but it's XML or whatever. You can also upload metadata, of course, yeah. The question is what going to do with the metadata if you have once it uploaded it once.
The summary, the credit, some access and use constraints.
I think so, but never thought about that.
Any other questions?
I was wondering, did you do any testing with the ArcGIS Online Geocoder to see how accurate it was?
No real testing. We just use it in some cases and found it's good, but we do no real testing.
Any further
But
questions?
I guess it is good.
Yeah. I found close to your office, so it worked there.
Yeah.
Anything else? No? Oh.
Christian, to generate a token, is it right that you generate a token for each feature which comes in? That you send a
No,
request
there's no
to?
need to do it for each feature.
Okay.
Yeah. Full control. It's depending on what you're defining in the FME Workbench. So if sorry? Oh, image. I'm not sure if this is already supported. It is? Okay. Oh, right. But do we use? But we didn't use this ArcGIS Online Writer, right? I'm not sure if this supported right now. You can do it if you create your own writer and using like an HTTP fetcher, for example, and HTTP uploader. But I'm not sure if this is in a way supported right now in the ArcGIS Online Writer. My feeling is that it's not supported, but I'm not sure. Is someone from SAFE here that can answer this question? Sorry? Not supported, okay. Yeah.
Put up the pictures. We just, I think we use the file copy or something. Put up the pictures in a location, and then we just had a hyperlink as an attribute, and this works. So
yeah, it was kind of workaround, I would say. Yeah.
If there's no further questions, I'll say thank you very much, Christian.